Hiya, welcome back to In the Kitchen with Tabby. Today I'm going back to my Hungarian roots and we are making these delicious Hungarian walnut cookies. You're going to start by creaming together your cream cheese and your butter. You want to cream that together until it's nice and fluffy, and then you're going to slowly start to add in your all-purpose flour. You want to add that in slowly and mix it together until it's well blended and starts to come together and form a dough. And you can see here how that dough looks. So that's all there is to it. 3 ingredients: butter, cream cheese, and flour. Now we're going to take that dough and we're going to roll it, and then we're going to form it into somewhat of a rectangle, divided into 2 pieces there. You can see I've already done one. And then we're going to wrap that in some plastic wrap, and that's going to go into the refrigerator for at least 1 hour, or until it's cold enough that you can roll it out easily. And now it's going to the fridge for 1 hour. While the dough is getting cold, we're going to make our filling. So you're going to put some walnuts in your food processor and ground those up. And then you're going to measure out 1 3/4 cups into your measuring cup and set that aside. Now we're going to take 2 eggs and we're going to separate the yolk from the white. We're only going to use the egg whites for this. So we're going to put those 2 egg whites into the mixing bowl, making sure you don't get any yolk in the bowl. We only want the whites. Now we're going to turn that mixer on, and we're going to get that whisking with the whisk, and we're also going to add to that our vanilla. You'll continue whisking the egg whites and vanilla until that mixture becomes nice and foamy, and at that point you're going to start to add in your sugar. You're going to add that sugar a teaspoon at a time, letting it mix in between each addition. And there goes the last bit of the sugar. And then once we get that fully incorporated and it's nice and blended, we can go ahead and turn that mixer off. You can see how nice and pretty and fluffy that is. Now we're going to take that whisk attachment off. And now in go the walnuts. Put all of those in there, and you're going to use that spatula to just fold those walnuts right into those whipped egg whites and vanilla. You want to just mix those together until it's well incorporated and still nice and fluffy. You don't want to mix it too much. Now you're going to put that mixture in the refrigerator and let that stay cool until your dough is ready to roll. All right, the next step is to get generous with that powdered sugar. Normally you would say to flour your work surface, but we're going to powder sugar it. You're going to lay that nice block of dough down there, and then you're going to take your powdered sugar and put it through a little strainer just to give a nice coating of powdered sugar on the top side of that dough as well. And then you are going to begin to roll it out. Rollin', rollin', rollin'. Now this is going to take some time. You want to roll that dough out until it's about 1/8 of an inch thick. Take your time turning your dough around as you go. Just, you can see I'm turning the board there. That's kind of why I like to use the board to roll it out on, so you can spin it around from side to side. Just take your time, roll it out slowly, add more powdered sugar as you need to keep it from sticking to your rolling pin. And then if you need to, you can also lift that dough up and you can turn it over and powder, move that powder around, that powdered sugar around, and then go ahead and finish rolling it out. The most important thing is that you get that rolled out to about 1/8 of an inch. You want that dough pretty thin. And you can see I'm really taking my time and making sure that I get that rolled out the way I need to. It doesn't matter if it's no longer in a rectangle form. You can use your knife. Actually, I'm going to use a pizza cutter here in just a second, but you'll use your pizza cutter and you can straighten out those sides before you start cutting it into your little 2.5 to 3 inch squares. All right, here comes the pizza cutter. So I'm going to trim off this one side, and then I'll turn it and trim the others, and now I'm cutting it into my squares. I'm going to get 3 rows of 3, so I'll get 9 squares total out of that piece of dough. And then the extra that I trimmed off the sides, I actually get another 6 pieces out of that. So I'm going to get 15 total cookies out of that little chunk of dough that we rolled out. Now I'm taking the filling, the walnut filling, and I'm going from corner to corner with just a little strip of it. And then you're going to pick up one corner and lay it across, and pick up the other corner and lay it across, and give that just a little press so that that dough sticks together. And then you're going to put that on a parchment lined baking sheet. All right, so we're gonna do that again. So we're gonna take that filling and we're gonna put it's probably less than a teaspoon, corner to corner. And then we're going to lift up the first corner of that square. I gotta clean my finger off first. So we're gonna lift up the first corner and then the other corner and bring those two together, pinch them together and lay them down. So you just wanna make sure if you don't seal it really well, then those pieces will pop apart as it's baking. And you'll see in just a minute, I had that happen with one of them when I pull it out of the oven, but nothing that can't be fixed. So there you are, there's 9 of them. So I'm gonna go ahead and put those in the oven. That's a 375 degree oven, and they're gonna bake for about 8 to 11 minutes. Now my camera malfunctioned on the first batch, so this is actually the second batch coming out of the oven. And you can see I got 6 more there. So like I said, I got 15 cookies out of that first little block of dough. And we're gonna put those on a cooling rack, and we're going to let those cool completely before we take them to the next step. But look at how beautiful they are, nice and golden. There's my powdered sugar. So that's going to be the next step. So now they are completely cool. And now we're going to take that little bowl of powdered sugar and just roll those sweet little walnut cookies all around in that powdered sugar. Now there's very little sugar in the actual filling, and there is no sugar at all in the dough. So these are not super sweet cookies. So don't be too concerned about rolling them in that powdered sugar. So here's the last one. I'm going to give that a nice roll in that powdered sugar. They sure are looking pretty. And there's the last one on the plate. So there they are, guys, Hungarian walnut cookies. Enjoy!